Welcome, wrestling fans, to another exciting edition of Rampage Pro Wrestling. Christmas season is here. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays to everyone that's listening and watching, and glad you joined us. I tell you what.
What about Happy Kwanzaa? You forgot
Don't
Kwanzaa.
forget Kwanzaa. That includes everybody. Equal opportunity offender.
Introducing first and coming out, here's the champ, Jeremy Vane. And he's teamed this time with other champs, the Cash Vault.
Talk about a championship team, and Charlie Cash not wearing one belt but two belts. He's big enough to do that.
Introducing first, they're coming to the ring by Charlie Cash, Jeremy Vane.
Jeremy Vane, the untouchable.
Rob Adonis. And hit for hire, Bobby Moore.
And I happen to know firsthand that Bobby Moore and Jeremy Vane were not real excited about this match.
Well, and I can imagine they wouldn't be because of who their opponents are and what an impressive group that is, and we're going to see them coming up right now.
Talk about champions. You know, there's no title on the line here, but certainly both titles are at stake in the sense that if one of them gets beaten, whoever beats them is the number one contender, a top challenger. So they don't want to get beaten this match, that's for sure. They want to come out with their hands in the air, and that may be a difficult task considering who they're going up against. Hit for hire, Bobby Moore, Rob Adonis, the NWA RPW Tag Team Champions, teaming with Jeremy Vane, the NWA RPW Heavyweight Champion, the face, the former NWA World Tag Team Champion. Former NWA RPW Tag Team Champion.
Steele. And the priest of punishment,
The usual suspects, AJ Steele, Murder One, and look at that giant following them, and also dressed in black.
Well, you know, every time when you see Murder One and AJ Steele and you can find somebody else bigger than them in the ring, you know you've got something special. And that's what we have here with the priest of punishment, Mikael Judas.
I don't know how aligned Mikael Judas is with the suspects, but certainly they have one common mission in this match, and that is to destroy and defeat Rob Adonis, Bobby Moore, and Jeremy Vane. And Jeremy Vane looking at Mikael Judas with fear in his eyes.
Well, no other way to do that. One of the most impressive men in professional wrestling is Mikael Judas, former IWA Puerto Rico heavyweight champion. Spent some time in total non-stop action wrestling as a performer there, now back in the state of Georgia in the Southeast. The Priest of Punishment has returned, and he's here in Rampage Pro Wrestling. But let's not discount his partners, the two-time RPW NWA Tag Team Champions and former NWA World Tag Team Champions and number one contenders for the heavyweight title, for the tag team titles.
And
the usual suspects.
And they have been mainstays here at Rampage Pro Wrestling for a reason. Not many men can get by these guys. I tell you what, these guys, whether you like them or not, they've been on both sides of the fence, so to speak. They wrestle the same way no matter what, and that is to win at all costs.
Referee Dustin Robinson has a big problem here. It's going to be that kind of show for him, though, I think, because what a main event we have coming up. And let's get this match started before we talk about everything else that's coming up.
And Dustin Robinson now was telling them they got to get one guy in there. No, they're not real either, and Murder One's going to be the first man in for his team. And no one is actually raising their hand to volunteer for the service.
You can understand that. I don't think anybody wants, but Rob Adonis, the biggest man on his team, is in to start off, and we got something special here. And it's our opening match here at Rampage Pro Wrestling
Call
Television.
somebody and tell them. Thunderbolt Patterson tells you. Call him and tell him that we're on the air, and speak to Thunderbolt Patterson. He is the sheriff at Rampage Pro Wrestling.
Not only that, Doc Gayton touring the world again in Austria as we tape this, unavailable for this particular broadcast, but here and will be overseeing all of the matches this evening is the legend himself, Thunderbolt Patterson.
I was talking to Doc Gayton, and he was saying how exciting it was to watch the Georgia Bulldogs game from Austria.
Yeah, that's got to be an interesting thing, isn't it? But again, with the internet, it's amazing what you can see anywhere you go, not just on television. Although I found that out years ago, even when I went to France back in the 90s. It was, the amount of American television I was able to watch was remarkable.
Did you see the French Angel when you were in France?
No, I did not. But I was on the Côte d'Azur. You know, they have nude bathing there.
Oh, wow.
It's not as good as you think it is. Mostly older people. It's not really that good.
And right now, A.J. Steele is pounding Rob Adonis, and that can't be good for Rob Adonis. And certainly no love lost there. A.J. has the temperament of the team, and perhaps Michael Judas as well. None of the guys are people that I want to make mad at me, that's for sure. Covers him with a two count there. Adonis now trying to regroup himself, and Jeremy Vane's calling for a timeout out here on the apron.
And he's not even in the match. That's normally when he calls for a timeout.
He's not wanting to be a part of this match, I guarantee you. And he hopped down quick as A.J. Steele came over there and pounded Bobby Moore on the apron.
Not used to seeing Rob Adonis being taken advantage of like this, but then again, Rob Adonis is rarely in a ring with 2 or 3 people as big or bigger than he is, but that's the situation he has right now.
Tag is made and Murder One comes in. AJ and Murder One, a fine wool oil machine and shoulder tackle into that midsection. Big man is staggered, raking the back now.
Murder One doesn't really care how he does it. A consummate wrestler has trained many great professional wrestlers in this business, but Murder One can fight with the best of them. It's one of the reasons why he's one of the feature performers on the Urban Wrestling Federation.
And now you see AJ Steele is in there, Rob Adonis is in there, and the referee is trying to restore order.
And Jeremy
Dustin
Vane
Robinson
is getting out of the way.
once again calling timeout. He's been watching too much football.
Yeah, but so far nobody's touched Jeremy Vane, so he may be the smartest guy in the match so far.
He is the untouchable.
He can't lose the match if he's never getting in it.
And can't get hurt. I'm sure he's thinking about that too.
Somehow, while all this was going on, Rob Adonis single-handedly, it appears, was able to take back over on Murder One. Now Murder One caught in the corner. Michael Judas yet to have gotten into this match, but boy, when he does, it's going to be something special there, and that's something I'm sure that Jeremy Vane, Bobby Moore, and Rob Adonis are not looking forward to. And if I were Charlie Cash, I would just stay out of the way.
And that's hard for Charlie Cash to do with his size.
You know, I mentioned what a show we have coming up and what a main event we have. We have all 4 members of the Jimmy Rave approved team. Mike Posey, Chip Day, Corey Hollis, Patrick Bentley, all in the ring at the same time. And what a tremendous group of opponents they have. Former champion J-Rob, the Triple Crown winner, Adrian Hawkins, Drew Adler getting an opportunity to step up in this particular match along with Ace Rockwell.
Should be a great tag team matchup, and we're looking forward to that as our feature match. And next week's feature match will be a Mega Rumble on this show to determine the #1 contender for the NWA Heavyweight Championship, the world champion, Scrapyard Adam Pearce. Whoever wins that Mega Rumble next week on the program will challenge for the world title on December 18th.
Entire roster is in that match. Literally 23 wrestlers will be in that match. Match will have to go nearly a half hour. It will be the entire out of television, as you said. Obviously, we will have standby matches prepared should the match go just 23 minutes, for example. But with the people involved, you know that it's going to be a special match. Also,
not just the people, what's at stake.
Special rules in that match, given the importance of it. Normally just over-the-top ropes and elimination in a Mega Rumble and or a Battle Royal. In this, though, over-the-top rope pinfall or submission are eliminations. Opens up a wide variety of opportunities in this very competitive match. Entrants will come in every minute in the match.
And every wrestler in that Rumble would like to have the opportunity to challenge the world champion. How many guys get to challenge for the NWA World Heavyweight title?
Well, everybody hopes to do it. It's what the goal is of everyone in the National Wrestling Alliance. They work hard for that opportunity. The ultimate prize in professional wrestling. And you know, Adam World Heavyweight title.
Adam Pearce has the disadvantage because up until next week when we do that match, he's not going to know who his opponent is. Well, he can't get ready.
Tremendous truth. He is a 4-time champion. And you know what that means? He lost the title 3 times.
Strike 3, you're usually out. In the ring right now, Rob Adonis has AJ's partner, Murder One, all tied up.
Michael Judas is as angry as I have seen him on the outside, and definitely not a man you want angry, intimidating as it is. But now, Murder One fighting to his feet. Blows to the midsection, comes off the rope, caught in the midsection himself by Rob Adonis. Isn't able to get free as he hoped. I often question hitting the ropes like that, in essence running away from your corner, but I know he was trying to get up enough momentum to take the big man off his feet. Couldn't get it done.
Tag is made, hit for hire. Bobby Moore's in the ring. And still the champion is eluding getting into the ring. Jeremy Vane great champion, and I don't take anything away from his ability, but there's a fear factor in this match for him.
Well, and you can't. He is, when it comes to Rampage Pro Wrestling, he possesses the ultimate prize, and he's been in the ring before, spent some time with Mikael Judas, so he knows he doesn't want to be in there. He's been in the ring before with the usual suspects, knows that's no good place to be.
And he's a little upset. I heard that he's not just automatically getting this title match. He's got to get in the Rumble if he wants to get the title shot with the world champion.
Very
so
much
he's
so.
Have to prove himself.
But you would also have to think that he's one of those guys that you'd consider a favorite depending on what his entry position is in the match.
Absolutely,
Ooh.
You heard that.
Murder One to the outside. Part of him definitely caught that metal railing at ringside. Fans looking very concerned with him on the outside. Referee Dustin Robinson has his hands full here. You know, as we head toward our main event, one of the things that I'm wondering about, and we saw an example of it just at the beginning of the show, you've noticed Miss Allie sporting a cast and a sling on her hand. Had some hand damage, arm damage, I understand, and she tells me she's not 100% sure, but the doctors diagnosed it after the last assault by Jimmy Rave when she was forcefully pushed to the floor as he grabbed the microphone away from her just several weeks ago on Rampage television.
Jimmy Rave has just totally lost his mind, and I know Miss Allie is taking it very personal. The first time, maybe an accident. Second time, you start wondering if it's not something. He just doesn't care.
Well, you mentioned Thunderbolt Patterson, Doc Ayton. They have acted. I question whether they've been severe enough on this, but Jimmy Rave has been fined and he has been given a warning. He cannot maintain this kind of behavior or they are fully prepared to suspend him from Rampage Pro Wrestling.
And that's something Jimmy Rave does not want. Arm whips him in, leg trip takedown, caught him off the ropes.
Senton.
And Murder
One
hard.
on his own is managing to come back in this match, but you can see that effort alone took everything out of him. Again, you can't, the heart of Murder One in this case, you've got to admire that, but you've got to think maybe he, instead of going for that cover, he should have taken that opportunity to go over and make that tag.
And there he's in there with putting the boots. You see Mikael Judas just stepped in halfway, and he almost had a heart attack.
Oh, who wouldn't?
I mean, he felt those eyes on him, and he got out quickly.
And Bobby Moore's going to have a little bit of a memory of what happened the last time he was in a ring with Mikael Judas. He went flying.
Yeah, and that's not an easy task for a man his size to fly. And right now, it's Bobby Moore continuing to work over Murder One. Murder now firing back. Right hands and a hard jab to the head.
Referee was in the way a bit. I hope that doesn't impact negatively on Murder One, but right there, Bobby Moore not down. He manages to make the tag.
Sunset flip,
referee called for it. I don't think Murder One saw that tag made.
And
referee is saying no, he did not see that tag.
And so now it's the champion irate on the apron. He wants to come in when someone is down. You notice that?
Well, honestly, if I was in this situation, I'd want to come in when someone's dead.
And they may be when this match is over.
And even then, I'd be afraid. He might not be quite dead.
I'm not sure he's alive. And right now, you have the head now being smashed by that foot. Right to the throat, and snapmare on the big man. And Rob Adonis now with that rear chin lock. They are controlling Murder One. And this is just what they want to do, wear the man down. A man like Murder One is very dangerous. But if you wear him down, certainly that danger zone is going to reduce a bit. And he needs to make that tag before he runs out of gas.
Bobby Moore getting in the face of him right there. Referee Dustin Robinson warning him to get over in the corner. You know, I know that there's been a recommendation made by the Sheriff Thunderbolt Patterson that because of the quantity of 6-man matches, 8-man matches that we have here at Rampage Pro Wrestling, the multi-person matches, one of the specialties here, to set up the, and I know you'll remember this, tag ropes, where the guys are required to be in the corner to hold on to that rope to make a legal tag. May not be a bad idea, something that we're pursuing here, and we may actually implement at Rampage Pro Wrestling.
Something might keep some more order. I know Thunderbolt's all about order. You know, he had a lot of problems in the old days with the Anderson brothers, so he knows all about people getting out of order.
And right there, A.J. Steele made the tag in, but Dustin Robinson didn't see it, Ben. I did, he didn't.
And the referee has to call it like he sees it.
Well, fans definitely saw it. They're making sure Dustin Robinson's aware of what's going on out here, but it doesn't matter if he doesn't see it, he can't call it.
Now tag is made, and it's Jeremy Vane coming in, and snapmare
You know, last time we saw Dustin Robinson, in fact, he almost got a haircut.
And that's something Dustin doesn't get too many of, apparently, because he has those long flowing locks. Been compared to Meatloaf by some of the guys in the back.
Yes, I don't know if it's
Not
for
the
his
food,
look
but
or
the
his
singer.
singing voice.
And now it's a rear chin lock applied, and Jeremy
You took
Vane.
the words right out of my mouth. Oh, sorry.
I took the Meatloaf out of your mouth.
Yeah, it was a Meatloaf
That could be
reference.
dangerous. And now it is Jeremy Vane trying to control the man, cuts him off with a knee. Tag is made and hit for hire. Bobby Moore's in.
Oh, Bobby Moore, big boot to the gut there on Murder One. Murder One's been in for the bulk of this match now and somehow is still managing to stay on his feet more often than not. Again, tremendous resiliency for this man. It's one of the reasons why he is a former two-time champion, former World Tag Team champion. You don't get that far without being able to take a beating.
All the fans are out Christmas shopping. Remember, those friends of yours that are wrestling fans, a great stocking stuffer, our ticket to Rampage Pro Wrestling, and also that DVD that goes on sale for the Oktoberfest, available December 18th.
Well, we also got new T-shirts are out, a whole bunch of them. There's a Usual Suspects T-shirt. There's a lot of brand new product. You can go to the website to find out about it, or even better, come down to the events here at Johnny G's as we head into January. Remember now, we're going to be changing it up a little bit. The 8th and the 22nd is when we're coming back in January, and then in February we're back to that first, third, and fifth Sunday of every month. But we're going to go 2nd and 4th in January so that we're every other week.
Tag just made
There's
now.
Tag, AJ Steele is in at this point. Michael Judas still hasn't managed to get into this particular match. I think that's a mistake, but then again, anytime you got AJ Steele in, you've got to be impressed.
Short clothesline after slamming Jeremy Vane, and Jeremy Vane in no man's land over there. Head first in that turnbuckle, just threw him like a sack of potatoes. The power of this black Superman, AJ Steele.
And AJ Steele just going all over. They get slingshotted right there and pulled out by Rob Adonis. Adonis is now grabbing him. It looks like he's going to try to, yeah, he does. Throws him head first into that ring post right there. That's unforgiving. That's solid metal, Ben.
He didn't move at all, and it's certainly going to be a detriment to him right now because he has been knocked semi-unconscious.
Jeremy Vane needs to look behind him.
Yeah, I think Jeremy Vane has a visitor. And, yeah, Rampage rules. Is that what we're doing here?
I don't believe so. Dustin Robinson has warned him, but it doesn't look like now. Charlie Cash is in. That is definitely a mistake right there. Cash trying to stop the priest of punishment, offering to pay him money at this point. Dustin Robinson so far, because of the interference of Charlie Cash, he's letting this go. And Jeremy Vane has grabbed his belt, and it looks like he's heading out as quickly as he can.
Charlie's got the pocketbook out.
And now,
I guess it wasn't enough money.
Charlie Cash has been caught by the throat by the priest of punishment. Just swatted by Bobby Moore, and it's like a fly, and now Bobby Moore is caught. Up he goes, down hard, and there's some money in the ring, Ben.
And that's what he thinks about the money, just threw it down on top of it.
Now Rob Adonis is in. I believe AJ Steele is still the legal man in this match.
Well, Dustin just throwing money out of the ring. He threw it to the wrong side. He should throw it over here.
Priest of punishment. Rob Adonis goes outside the ring. And now Rob Adonis outside. Michael Judas is in. Referee has sort of decided to let things go a little bit at this point, probably because of the interference of Charlie Cash.
Setting him up now.
But wait a minute. Hooked by the foot is wasn't able to deliver the move, and now they're both on the outside. Bobby Moore, I believe, is the legal man in this match, as is AJ Steele. Murder One back into the ring. Things have finally gotten a little bit back to normal.
Credit to Dustin Robinson for letting this match continue after all of this. Double kick. Bobby Moore now being double teamed by the former champions.
He's just taken two big slams right there.
And the champion has been pinned. And AJ Steele, Murder One, and Michael Judas have won this tag team match. And obviously not good for the champions to be defeated.
Murder One, and Michael Judas.
And I have a feeling that Rob Adonis and Murder One, Rob Adonis and his partner Bobby Moore have not seen the last of the Usual Suspects.
Wow. You know what? That was our opening match.
And it gets better from here, fans. We got more action, 8-man tag team action still to come, featuring Jimmy Ray LaFleur versus Adrian Hawkins, Ace Rockwell, Drew Adler, and J-Rod don't go away. And you see Bobby Moore just almost out of it. In a bad place in here with these three guys. Looks like they're going to play with him, tossing him out to the floor. Once again, the winners in the ring, AJ Steele, 1-1, and Michael Judas. You're watching Rampage Pro Wrestling. Don't you dare go away.